The gym was hot, packed wall to wall with students, teachers, and parents, all squeezed onto the hard bleachers and folding chairs. The air was thick with anticipation, and the hum of voices bounced off the old brick walls. Everyone was buzzing for the annual school talent show, a night that felt both familiar and electric, as if anything could happen even though we all thought we knew exactly what to expect. The air smelled like old sneakers, spilled popcorn, and a hint of nervous sweat, a scent that somehow felt like home. We expected the usual, offbeat dancers with mismatched socks, singers bravely belting out pop songs just off key, and awkward magic tricks that never quite worked but always got a laugh. It was tradition, predictable but ours. Every year, we came together for this, sharing inside jokes and memories that only made sense in this gym. We clapped for every act, cheered for every stumble, and shouted encouragement, even when someone forgot their lines or missed a step. The principal, Mr. Harrison, told his usual bad jokes, groan-worthy puns about homework and cafeteria food. We laughed anyway, because that was part of the ritual. A kid juggled apples and dropped them, his face turning red as the apples bounced across the stage. We cheered when he finally caught one, turning his embarrassment into a small victory. A rock band played too loud, the speakers crackling as they launched into a cover of a song everyone knew, making the floor vibrate beneath our feet. Then a girl read a sad poem, her voice trembling but clear, drawing us in with every word. The gym shifted from chaos to silence, everyone listening, the only sound her voice echoing in the stillness. Each act was a small piece of our school, a glimpse into the lives and dreams of people we saw every day, but maybe never really noticed. Then the lights dimmed for the next act and a hush fell over the crowd as the spotlight swept across the stage. We checked our programs. Katie Thurston. Her name was printed in neat letters, but none of us could remember her ever performing before. The gym grew quiet, curiosity and a hint of excitement in the air as everyone leaned forward, waiting to see what would happen next. Who was Katie Thurston, and what was she doing on stage, alone in the spotlight, on this ordinary night that suddenly felt anything but ordinary? Katie Thurston was not a stage person. She was the quiet girl with books, always in the middle row. She was kind, helpful, but never the center of attention. You saw her, but didn't really notice her. She answered questions softly, blushed when called on, and faded into the crowd. So when her name was called, everyone was confused. Was it really our Katie? Whispers rippled through the gym, then she stepped out from behind the curtain, small, nervous, gripping the microphone stand. She looked out at the crowd, terrified. For a moment it seemed she might run. The gym held its breath. All eyes were on her. We waited. Katie stood at the edge of the stage, her heart pounding in her chest. She took a deep breath, closed her eyes for just a moment, and lifted the microphone with both hands. The gym was filled with a low hum of students whispering, the sound of sneakers squeaking on the polished floor, and the distant echo of teachers trying to quiet the crowd. For Katie, though, everything else faded away. This was her moment, the one she had dreamed about but never thought would come. She opened her eyes, steadying herself, and prepared to sing. Her hands shook ever so slightly, betraying her nerves, but her face remained calm and focused. Then, with a courage she didn't know she had, she sang. The first note that left her lips was huge, clear, powerful, and perfect. It rang out across the gym, echoing off the walls and silencing every conversation in an instant. The sound filled the entire gymnasium, stunning everyone into silence. This was not the quiet, shy girl we all thought we knew. She sang a song that was familiar to every person in the room, but somehow, she made it completely her own. Each note was infused with emotion, and every word seemed to come straight from her heart. Her voice soared to incredible heights, then dipped low, telling a story that pulled us in. She moved with the music, her body swaying gently, completely lost in the moment. We were lost with her, caught up in the magic she created on that stage. The audience was captivated, hanging on every note, every breath. The gym, the crowd, the world outside, all of it faded away. All that mattered was her voice, filling the space with something beautiful and unforgettable. For the first time, we truly saw Katie Thurston, not just as the quiet girl in the hallway, but as someone extraordinary, someone brave enough to share her gift. This was the real Katie, shining under the spotlight, transformed before our eyes. The quiet girl we thought we knew was gone. In her place stood a star, radiant and unafraid, ready to take on the world. The last note lingered in the air, and for a moment the gym was silent. Katie opened her eyes, looking stunned. Then a single clap broke the spell. Applause erupted, cheers, whistles, stomping feet. The gym exploded with joy and surprise. People hugged, some wiped away tears. Even the teachers were on their feet. Katie blushed, smiled, and bowed. She walked off the stage transformed, from the quiet girl to a legend. The talent show was no longer predictable. Katie Thurston had changed everything. We all felt it. The night belonged to her. That night, we learned people are like houses, full of secret rooms. Most of the time, we only see the outside, the parts they choose to show. But every once in a while, someone opens a door, and we catch a glimpse of something unexpected, something extraordinary. Katie showed us hers, and it was beautiful. Her voice filled the auditorium, soft at first, then growing stronger, until it seemed to wrap around everyone in the room. It was as if she'd been waiting for this moment, and when it came, she stepped into it fully. We wondered what other hidden talents walked our halls, how many classmates had secret passions or gifts we'd never noticed. It made us curious, made us want to look closer at the people we thought we already knew. The rest of the show blurred by. Everyone was still thinking about Katie's song. Even as other acts took the stage, her performance lingered in the air, echoing in our minds. She sat with her friends, laughing, looking taller and more confident. There was a new lightness in her step, as if she'd shed something heavy and found a new part of herself. She was still Katie, but now she was more. She carried herself differently, and we all noticed. It was like she'd discovered a secret power, and now she wore it proudly. The whole school saw her differently. People who'd never spoken to her before smiled in the hallway, and her friends looked at her with new admiration. She had a new story, one she shared with all of us. It wasn't just about singing, it was about being brave enough to show who you really are. We realized people are more than the labels we give them. Behind every quiet face, there might be a world we haven't seen yet, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. Katie's performance smashed the box we'd put her in. She reminded us that everyone has layers, and sometimes, those layers are full of surprises. She was quiet and powerful, a reader and a singer. She was proof that you can be many things at once, even if no one expects it. The talent show became a reminder. Everyone has a little magic inside. Sometimes it takes courage to let it out, but when you do, it can change everything. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you get to see it shine. And when you do, it makes you wonder what other wonders are waiting, just out of sight, in the people all around you.